Now, we're on the clock with a minute as a group, give or take, to tackle a variety of subjects. First up, northern New Mexico's Mora County was the first in the nation to pass an ordinance banning oil and gas drilling, including hydraulic fracturing, commonly known as fracking. Now, the ordinance, however, has many challenges, 2 lawsuits against it, efforts to get it declared unconstitutional, and the loss of its champion, John Olivas, who lost his Mora County Commission seat in the primary. Rob, you wrote about this in New Mexico Watchdog. Do you think, the bottom line question here, of course, is it going to be reversed? Do you think it's going to be reversed, the ban?
It's going to be hard to, because when they passed the ordinance banning fracking, they put in there that in order for you to overturn the ordinance, you have to get a unanimous vote from all 3 commissioners, and then it goes to the ballot, and 2/3 of the people in Mora County have to approve it. So it's very difficult. But now that you've got Mr. Olivas gone, and you've got a new commissioner in there, they might be able to have by 2 to 3 vote. Possibly they can say, let's just withdraw from the lawsuits.
Wow, interesting. Your thought on this one, Julianne, this is interesting.
Well, I think it's interesting that Mora County has 5,000 residents, and that when you're looking at politics in New Mexico in these really small jurisdictions, every vote really does matter. And I know that's a trite statement that we utter in democracy, but it really does matter in these places. And so I think you've got a guy like George Trujillo, the man who won the race, who's not facing an opponent in the general election, so he's the victor, presumptive victor here. He says that he believes the voters are afraid of oil and gas, and they're afraid of lawsuits.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of fear.
Yeah, I'm going to hold you guys there. We're a little short on time. My fault. Just when House Majority Leader Eric Cantor's defeat in the primaries of pundits declaring immigration reform dead, the United States is seeing an alarming increase in the number of immigrants crossing into the country from Central America, many of them children. It is estimated that more than 60,000 unaccompanied juveniles will cross in 2014, and President Obama calls it, quote, an urgent humanitarian situation requiring a unified and coordinated federal response, end quote. Tom, any remedy, insight on this? A big one. This could really blow up in our faces.
This
here.
is, well, it already is. This is a
Mm-hmm.
game changer as far as immigration discussion is concerned, because whenever you get the children involved, that's when people go, okay, we got to fix this right away. So who knows if anything will happen in Congress, in New Mexico. Perhaps this gives the governor some fuel to readdress the whole driver's license.
And that was right to the point I was getting at, Laura, on that. Does this change the governor in any appreciable way, what you think? Is this enough pressure?
I can't imagine that this is going to be an issue, that they will make it an issue the way it was the last time. Just because there isn't the political will, I don't think. I mean, it could change. But, I see that the House is definitely something that everybody's kind of looking at on both sides. And the issues that they talk about will be really important at the local level. And certainly from the Democrats, in terms of maintaining the House, this issue is just not, they're not going to stand behind this. You also have to consider that the Senate's not up for re-election, and you still have to have the Senate approve something like this. I don't think there's any political will for them to do so. So I can't imagine they're going to make it.
Do half the table before, half the table for this one.
Sorry.
There you go. Despite a low turnout for primary elections, there was no lack of drama on election night. 2 county clerks contend they got loud, abusive phone calls on election night from Secretary of State Diana Duran and one of her top aides and her former campaign manager, Rod Adair. Ms. Duran's staff disputes that and says Doña Ana County election staff kept the public waiting for returns that affect statewide elections, all the while posting results on the county website. Ms. Duran's staff also alleges that in Rio Arriba County, residents were getting rumors rather than results. Ms. Duran also clashed with Bernalillo County Clerk Maggie Toulouse Oliver over a set of inaccurate election returns posted on the Secretary of State's website. Briefly, Oliver is running against Duran for the Secretary of State post there, so we should note that. Laura, Mary Helen Garcia, who lost in that primary down in Las Cruces by 16 votes, is now seeking a recount. Again, it's about confidence and feeling confident in our Secretary of State's office. What did this cycle do for us in our confidence about what's happening in that office?
So, disclosure, I work for the county clerk as the absentee ballot presiding judge on election night, and I've done so since 2008. So I'm sort of in the thick of it at the warehouse.
Bernalillo County.
Bernalillo County. One thing that was really surprising about this election, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised, is the amount of finger pointing that immediately came out.
That's right.
And I think that, the elected officials, the Secretary of State, there should be, enough conversations being being had ahead of time, where you anticipate some of the issues that might come up, and there's not the kind of reactive finger pointing going on. And I think that just highlights a level of unprofessionalism about our whole system that we should not tolerate.
Interesting. Tom, perception?
Perception is that, it's the November election that started, in, June.
Right.
So that's
Like at 7:01.
Good point, Julian.
Well, we've come a long way since the county clerks were taping the results on the wall and journalists were writing them down in little notebooks. And so I think there's an expectation on the part of the public and the media that those results come out instantly and they're accurate 100% from the beginning. But we saw some slight fluctuations. We saw Santa Fe County first had 88 of 89 precincts reporting, and then suddenly you refresh the screen and it went to 82 precincts. But they got it ironed out within a matter of minutes. And one Twitter that came from a television reporter said, we all need to chill out. And I think that was good.
But it's reasonable to expect, Rob, once every 2 years you expect these people to do one thing. Just get one thing right every 2 years.
Well,
you know what I mean?
well,
they have other things to do too in between.
Right, they
but
do.
you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
now they've got to take care of corporations too. But I agree with Tom, though. I'm shocked that there's a political finger pointing going on here, and I'm shocked that there was a problem in Rio Arriba County.
There you go. Right.
One quick thing to add,
Please.
this was the first election statewide where 5 counties used a new balloting, a new machine system, new software. And it's sort of the preview to, a dry run to November.
I see.
And it's these new machines make it much faster, much easier, make the results much quicker. But there's always kinks when you do a dry run. So I think November will be really important for everybody understanding what's actually taking place that's different from what we've seen in the past.
I'm glad you got that in. That's reasonable. We'll all do this for November. Thank you all for being here. More on the clock on the web. As always, all of us here at New Mexico in Focus appreciate your time and your effort to stay informed and engaged. Catch up with us anytime on social media by searching New Mexico in Focus. And don't forget to check out this week's web-only On the Clock topics. You can also find archived interviews and bonus material from our shows on our YouTube channel and at newmexicoinfocus.org. I'm Gene Grant. We'll see you next week in Focus.